I got to tell you, a story goes along with this, and so Naomi, you may want to follow up somehow. So when Lydia, our daughter, went out to Bethel to go to school, I said, "You come back when you can do four things. When you've done four things. When you made the blind eyes see, and and the left ears hear, and the tumors fall off, and you've raised the dead." Is that too tall of an order? If that's what Jesus commissioned us to do. Well, anyway, that first year she went on a missions trip to Africa, and she said there were about 30 in the group, and I think it was 10 blind eyes could see after the group was gone. She said, "Dad, I prayed for two of them by myself."
Wow.
They could see. Then on that trip, they divided up two by two, and they went to these little village huts, little churches, village hut churches, and she was asked to preach her first sermon. So she did. Afterwards, they went to the pastor's house, and there were children just running all over. And the pastor said, "Would you pray for this one little girl, about 6 or 7 years old? She can't hear unless you yell in her ear." Lydia says, "I set her on my lap, facing away from me. I put my hands on her ears, and I spoke in tongues for about 20 seconds. And then I whispered behind her head, behind her ear, 'Can you hear me?' And the little girl turned around like that, and the pastor said, 'That's a miracle. She's never been able to do that.'" So there's blind eyes and deaf ears. I said, "What about tumors?" She said, "We were praying for some people at a ministry line at Bethel, a lady who had tumors all over, and she said some were the size of quarters. And so they prayed, and they said, 'Well, what's it looking like?' She says, 'I don't know. Let me go to the restroom and check.' So went to the restroom, came back and said, 'They're gone. At least some of them were gone and some were on the way.' I said, 'Whoa.' So we got three of the four. I said, 'What about the fourth one?' She said, 'Well, Daddy, I had this guppy, Naomi. I had this guppy, and this guppy was belly up in the tank. And so she says, I put two fingers on the top of on the water, touching the guppy, and I says, "Come back to life or be resurrected." I don't forget exactly what she said. And Daddy, she said, the next day it was swimming around. I said, "Okay, you can come home." But she never did.